Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to another action figure review. Today we're doing Marvel Legends Fantastic Four Dragon Man. This is a big boy here. Nice big box. Here on the front of the box, real quick, we'll kind of check it out here. We got a nice action pose with Dragon Man. Up on top of the box, we have an image of the Fantastic Four, which I think is either reminiscent or the same exact image that they used for the Toy Biz Dragon Man. Here over on the side, we got Fantastic Four Dragon Man in the same action pose. And then same thing on the other side. On the back, here's where it gets interesting. We got the Fantastic Four up at the top, all powered up, ready to fight, ready to battle Dragon Man with posable wings and tail. So I don't know if we're getting two different sets of wings. I don't know. I've kind of stayed away from reviews for this figure. I know people are getting them, but he's got kind of a red webbing here, and then here it just looks unpainted. So we'll check that out. I believe here he is like the evil, like android version, and then over here he actually gets liberated or something from whoever created him, and he's got the glasses and the book. He's kind of like, I would say almost genius level intellect, maybe like kind of like Beast. Little write up down here in all these different languages across the bottom. Designed as a super-powered android, Dragon Man was imbued with life to battle the Fantastic Four until he broke free of his creator's control. So there you have it, guys. We got barcode on the bottom there. Let's open this beast up and see what the Dragon Man is all about. All right, wow, this guy is a beast. So here we got him. So just the one head, but we got interchangeable hands. We got the open grip hands and then the fists back there. We got the book. We got these glasses that are just going to hang. There's no stems. They're probably just going to fit in here behind the nostrils and kind of clamp in. We got the, looks to be flexi tail. And then an entirely different molding back here. We have the two sets of wings. Let's get that out of the way. And looks awesome, both sets. I like the red mixed in with the purple, but both of these are looking good. So I think these are actually separate. Yeah. There we go, get a good look at that. That looks really fucking sick. The back, not as much, but there's plastic in the way. These look pretty cool too. And also I got this little white background here. So if I'm like on the go or I just want to cover up this stuff, boom. So I'll probably keep that. Why not, right? All right, let's get a closer look at the accessories out of the box. Here we have these wings. Now these are really nice. I do prefer these. I like the color, the red and the purple. It looks really cool. I love the paint and kind of little streaks that you got here and the webbing or the wing, whatever. Yeah, it looks really cool. And one thing I noticed, which I think is awesome and like really good attention to detail, is you got these rips here. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he has the exact same tears on these other purple wings that are more folded in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up there. So pretty awesome attention to detail. I mean, that should go without saying, but they didn't screw that one up, I guess you could say. But yeah, I really do like kind of the texture and all the lines you're seeing here. It looks really good. The back doesn't look too bad either. Here's the other wing. All right, and then of course you've got the flexi tail, which seems to have like, what, 5 points of articulation? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 we'll say. So you can bend it like that. Now this guy was really stiff. The figure was, yeah, I guess so would the tail. But yeah, this is flexi and should work out as long as you want to flex it like this. I don't know how like curvy and wavy you will be able to get it, but sure it might take some playing with. So have at it, but pretty big tail, man. Then you got the fists here. Just like the thing, it's like the 3 fingers and the thumb, fists. And then of course you got the book and the glasses, if I can get my fingers to work here. Book is pretty standard. You got that little indentation here for the thumb. Something tells me he's gonna be able to grip this whole thing in his hand, just like, you know. So I don't know if you're gonna be using that much, but that's kind of what I used in the past, or else they just drop the book, you know. Then we got these glasses with real lenses there. Not real lenses, but it's a different piece, I think, glued on here to the frame. Pretty awesome, and it's gonna tuck into behind his nose. Like so. We'll get into that in a minute. These wings, before I get into articulation, and I gotta say the paint is nice, and I do love the texture here on his leg, the scaly stuff. It's all over, up on his shoulders, down on his calves here. Really nice. That's where the tail will go. We're gonna pop that on after we cover the articulation. Just something about the wings though with the articulation, you do have the ball joints there, and so they do pivot and they twist like so. So you can kind of fold them way back like this, I guess, if you're into that whole thing, and then bring them out, bring them down, bring them up. So lots of cool ways you can pose them. All right, let's get into the articulation with the figure. All right, real quick peek at the articulation, but first I just wanted to warn you guys. So I was removing this hand, just kind of pulling it off, and this whole arm came off right up here. It's okay though. I pushed it back up and it popped right back on the peg. It made that very comforting popping noise, so it was a-okay, but just be careful, you know, don't grab it here if you're trying to like put it up like this. You kind of want to, you know, choke it up a little bit more and get closer to the shoulder. You pull this up, it could be soft and it could just pop out. They usually do pop back on, but you just don't want to start that happening, you know. So just be warned, be careful. Articulation, we got the head here. It does spin all the way around. There is a ball joint in here, and then I'm gonna pull this head off real quick, and so the ball joint can go down here like so. His head's almost too big to go all the way down there, but it does kind of, I guess, control the vibe, maybe. I don't know, like I see pictures of him like down like this with the glasses, like he's reading, you know, but you can go like, bring it a little bit further down. His jaw gets in the way, but they tried, and it's pretty bulky, but it is pretty nice. So great head sculpt, by the way. Love those eyes. Kind of reminds me of a big old Caliban. We had these kind of things poking out the side of his head. You do have articulation in the mouth or the jaw there. We open it up to reveal a big old dragon tongue and some teeth. Of course, you got that little red there, which indicates an extra molding on the inside. That is a different color, and that would be the tongue. We've seen that before. We got the butterflies, so he can flex back about that much. Shoulder, of course, goes up like this, twists all the way around. We got the double jointed, oh my gosh, see that? Wow. Well, it'll pop back on and I'll have to just do the other arm. But I'm not stopping. So here we got, yeah, stiff as hell. Double jointed elbow, pinless, of course, pretty cool molding. So you got the scales and you got all this stuff popping out of his forearm. Pretty wicked. Got those big old black nails like a Russian hooker. Just kidding. Diaphragm swivel. You got the twist and the pivot down there. All right, I'm just like, I want to do this. So let's try. Yep, that thing does not want to stay on there. So I'm gonna have to do some work. No twist on the waist, but he does do the splits like that pretty good. Got the ball joints down there. You got the twist on the thigh cut. Again, lots of scales. And then of course you got the double jointed pinless knees. Again, quite stiff. And then down at the ankle, you got the pivot, you got the tilt. There's the pivot, there's the tilt. And then you, of course, have the toe articulation right here. Goes up about that much. Goes down about like that. So maybe he's up on a rooftop and he's like latching on to the edge of the roof. Or, you know, he might be like pivoting there, running maybe. But pretty nice articulation. Not that happy about this arm. So yeah, I would say that this is a fucking awesome figure. The paint is dope. The sculpts are awesome. I love the scales. The wings are dope. The book, you know, I mean, the accessories are pretty cool. I wish there was like maybe, like what if you could plug in fire that shot out of his mouth? And I'm sure you could do that. Maybe a G.I. Joe, like something, or I don't know. So like you could be lighting up this thing and just like, you know, use like torches or blowtorch, one of their flame effects. So, very nice figure. It's big, and I can't wait to get the wings on and pose him out and, you know, give him his book and his specs. So should be pretty wicked. Let's play around with this guy and then we'll do some comparisons. All right, we got Dragon Man here on the old turntable just to kind of gaze upon this figure. Wow, I forgot that. That'll make things easier. Yeah, I mean, the sculpt is fantastic. Just look at it, scales everywhere, even on that tail. Lots of cool stuff, veins and little stretchy marks on the back side of those wings. In the front, you got that red and that purple going together. Looking sweet, matching up with his tights. Good job on that, Dragon Man. Way to color coordinate. Yeah, this figure's dope. The arm is disappointing, but can easily be fixed. Sorry, I'm kind of moving around the camera here. Yeah, really awesome figure. It's too bad about the arm. It's really no bother after I just thought about it, but I was just like, damn, what a way to start a review, you know, just fresh out of the box and the arm pops off. So it'll be okay. I'll just put some goop on it. It'll be fine. If it pops off, I'll just have to do it again. But no big deal. I'll stop talking about it now. So, yeah, really cool figure. Just wanted to get a good head to toe in his evil mode, I guess you could say. But yeah, I do like this figure. I'm leaning towards going at an 8, just because articulation is awesome. The sculpt is great. Paint's fine, even though it's 2 colors. You know, maybe with the eyes 3. But yeah, it's an awesome figure. All right. We got his Smarty Pants mode turned on. He's got his glasses. He's kind of like adjusting them. He's like, And then he's got his book. How dare you interrupt my reading? But, yeah, pretty cool figure. You know, I always ask, and I like to ask this in every show, like, how can this figure be improved? And I think the fire breath would have been awesome. I mean, his mouth opens. If you could have, like, gotten something that could just plug in there or something in there that could be plugged into, it would have been dope. That would have been the cherry on top, basically. So, yeah, as we go round and round here, I just want to give a little info and backstory. So apparently this Dragon Man was created by a Professor Gregson Gilbert at the State University, which I think Peter Parker went to. All the smart kids go there. But Dragon Man was then sparked to life by Diablo using alchemy. And that raises another question. When the heck are we getting a Diablo? A classic Diablo. I mean, wow. Why don't we have that? So he was manipulated at times by both Diablo and the Wizard, and I think others. His powers include invulnerability. He's super strong. He can lift 100 tons, flight, fire breath, all these great and terrifying powers. He then got turned into an ally by Valeria Richards, the daughter of Reed and Sue. So he went from a thoughtless beast and a weapon to an intellectual friend to the Fantastic Four. So he went from adversary into ally. And this is the look of the ally. Again, great looking sculpts everywhere, top to bottom. Paint's good, articulation's good. He's getting at least an 8. I might actually go higher. But this is a big, beefy boy. Lots of accessories, lots of fun. Definitely recommend getting it. Well, things real quick. The front of the book is a Future Foundation label. So he's reading about the Future Foundation. Got some graphs and stuff in there. Pretty nice, but standard. With the glasses, I kind of like had to kind of press that little frame part in there in between the little wrinkle between the forehead and the nose there, and it stayed in, but then it fell out later. But here I'll kind of demonstrate. But then it comes off really easily, so be careful when you got it affixed to the figure, because it could pop off and get lost. It's just that small, you know. So let's just move right into comparisons right now. I'm gonna get some things out of the way. You know what I'm gonna do? These people are liking the weights. That's like nothing. All right, so we got a Dragon Man all set up. We got a lot of comparisons here, guys, so get ready. Let's start with Lockjaw, the Inhumans puppy dog teleporter, another beastie. And he was part of the 2-pack that came with Crystal. I would say a very underrated figure. I would actually say she's the better figure between the two. But this is cool. And it's cute. And it's Lockjaw, who we needed for some time. So I guess the incentive was picking this guy over the Marvel Select, because you got her. And I would say that this, I mean, not one of my favorites of 2024. She came out last year, but still a pretty damn nice figure. You know, not too bad for being an almost all yellow figure, but those effects are cool. Yeah, it's nice. So we got those guys. We're gonna remove them, and then we're gonna bring in some members of the Fantastic Four themselves, which I just kind of used. We got Reed. We got Sue from the Walgreens. Fantastic Four, Walgreens exclusive. Don't lose your Invisishield there, Sue. I love these figures. They, to me, are the best representation of Fantastic Four so far. The retros aren't bad. Then the recently acquired Fantastic Four She-Hulk. And then we got the, what is it, the infamous Iron Man? The Doctor Doom Iron Man, which I think is an awesome figure. Came with all these power accessories. It just makes him look all super powered up. Really cool figure. I think he will stay on my display forever and ever and ever, unless they come out with a newer version. But this is a great figure. So here we got some Fantastic Four members. Now we're gonna put these guys back. Oh, whoopsie. Oh man, we gotta bring out the robot. This could be Dragon Man's best friend. What's going on here? See a little red stain there. I can't remember this guy's name. Look at the plug-in there. It's pretty cool. But yeah. Featured in the film. I'm not the hugest FF guy, really. I did enjoy that John Byrne run with She-Hulk in the 80s for the comic books. But other than that, I didn't really follow it much, you know. But yeah, here, let's replace these guys, because Dragon Man is such a beast that you can't just bring out the whole cast and crew, or we're gonna run out of room. I'm trying to find spots for these guys. All right, we just want to kind of make some comparisons in size. Here's another FF bad guy, Ronin. You can see Dragon Man kind of towers over him. We'll put Dragon Man in the center here. There's Ronin. And then another big purple guy. The recently bought 2-pack Game Reverse Thanos that came with Psylocke. Awesome 2-pack. I didn't think I was going to need this guy, but I did. I do. I need him. So here he is. Big and purple. And then we got the Super Adaptoid, which could be more comparable in size, but the Dragon Man is still much beefier. Let's look at a little bird's eye view of that. He is taller by, well, we can figure that out, can't we? By busting out the old ruler. I guess it's size measuring time. All right, so to the top of that wing, we got 11 inches almost on the dot, just a little under 11 inches. And then the head is about 9 6/8. 9 6/8 inches on the Dragon Man. And let's see here, this guy's got to be about a foot tall. About 11 and a half, maybe a little more. So, big boy. And then just to bring out one more winged wonder, bleh, We got Hawkman, the new 52 version from the DC Universe Classics line. I think this was from a sideline, like when they're doing the new 52 characters. I can't remember what the name was, but it doesn't matter. He's going in my DC Universe Classics display. Love this big claw here, his axe. You got the wings that come out, very nicely articulated. Yes, this figure is dope. Oh, I have 3 Hawkmans. I have the Justice Society, I have the Justice League, and then I got this guy. And I don't know. And I have Hawk Girl too. I love them all. I really do. I do love my DC Universe Classics. That's what got me back into collecting figures. So there you have it, guys. The Dragon Man, he's getting an 8.5. All right, as I go about 8 minutes just on this segment. 8.5 for the Dragon Man. He's a dope figure. I think he is no longer available on Hasbro Pulse. You're going to have to get him on the second, maybe probably more than likely third market. And you're going to have to overpay, going probably about 130 to maybe 160 on average. Good luck to you guys out there. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If there's anything I could have done to make this review better, I mean, I don't know. He's got holes for pegs on the bottom of his feet. If I didn't already say that 3 freaking times already. Thanos is falling over. So yeah, good figure. I recommend hunting it down. Hopefully you don't have to pay too much, guys. All right, hey, peace out. We'll see you on the next one. Merman, a few others. You'll see. All right, peace out. All right, here we got an early look at Dragon Man, some early stuff from back when he was created. Nice little design there. I'm not sure who that is in front of him, but he looks scary as hell back when he's an android. Here he is from the video game Contest of Champions, a little more current look. And then, of course, he's the good guy here, hanging out with the Future Foundation kiddies, mentoring them, teaching them. What a nice dragon. Here we got an early offering from Toy Biz with the fire-breathing action effect. Looks like he's puking. That's back in the day. That's from the smaller scale. Then we got the larger scale Marvel Legends version from way back from the Toy Biz days. There you see the Fantastic Four pictured in the back there, the same art that you see on the box of the new, more current one. Here he is with cute little lockjaw there. And here's just some pose-offs, mashups, good versus bad. And then here's weight training time. Thanks, guys. Bye.